Hey, how are you? Neil Linares here, and welcome to Comfortably Insane. And I have another video for you. And this one, really it touches close to the heart. All the videos that I do for you, they really touched my heart. And that's why I did this site, so I could share with you my journey and the steps that happened for me to reach sobriety. You know that coming up September 28th is going to be my 10-year anniversary of being sober. And it's such an amazing thing for me. It's like a miracle, to be quite honest with you. So today I want to share a concept that happened to me probably 3 months into sobriety when I learned this concept, this very, very crucial, important aspect of sobriety. So to set the stage a little bit, and you know something, this story is also in my book. The book is again launching September 28th of 2019. I don't know when you'll be watching this, and I'm so excited about that idea. But I just wanted to throw the date there. But anyway, so this happened almost 10 years ago. And actually it would be 10 years ago. And what was happening, I was a complete wreck. My life was miserable. And again, this story is in comfortably-insane.com in my book. If you haven't heard of it, or if you haven't gotten it, go get it. It's in Amazon. You can get the paperback, or you can get the audiobook as well. Or you can go directly to the site comfortably-insane.com. But anyway, I found myself in the courtroom after 3 months of trying to get sober, or being sober. I had been sober for 3 months. And I was in the courtroom getting divorced for the second time. And I really wanted to I didn't want for that divorce to happen at that time. One of the things that happen in sobriety, that sometimes you cling to things that hurt you or things that aren't good for you, and you cling on to them really hard because that's all you know how to do. So that's what I was doing. I was in that position. So anyway, I felt that I was going to go there and I was going to fix the whole situation, and that was wrong. When I walked in there, the judge just, granted the divorce, and it was over. So I found myself walking out of this building, and I was standing in the middle of. I lived in Miami at the time, and I was standing in the middle of downtown Miami, right by the Metro Rail. And there was this big water fountain, and I was just standing there, thinking, hey, now why I can go drink right now. I can go just release this pain that I'm feeling. And I remember that I had gotten some instructions, and these instructions were to call someone. And I'm going to kind of zoom past this because I want you to read the book. But more than that, the concept that I want to tell you is the secondary issue here. So I called someone, and I had made up my mind that I was going to go and drink. But I said, okay, let me follow instructions. So I'll call, and right after I call, then I'll go and drink. And I called this person. They talked to me for almost an hour, and they shared their story. And I remember I was surrounded by homeless people, and I was thinking, man, this is where I could end up. If I don't fix my act, this is where I can end up. And after the whole conversation, I had cried. I had been captivated by his story. And he said to me after a while, he said, hey, are you still there? And I said, yeah, I'm here. And then he said to me, can you make it to a meeting? And I said, yes, I can. I can make it to a meeting. And that was the first time that my mind had shifted of making the decision that I'm going to drink And listen to this very carefully. It wouldn't be the last, but it was definitely the first time that I had been able to shift the mindset. So I went to, I said, okay, I made it to the meeting. And I remember sitting there and I was crying and I was hurt and I really didn't know what to do with myself. And as I sat there, someone handed me the microphone so I could share. And I said, hey, my name is Neil and I'm an alcoholic and I just got divorced. And then the whole room erupted. The whole room said, "Oh, D-Day," and I was startled. I was startled by this, and I guess it was a common thing in the rooms. But one of the things that had happened in the courtroom, my ex-wife at the time looked at me and she said, "Neil, I forgive you." And I thought, oh wow, that's great, that's awesome. She forgives me. And as I was sitting in the room, I was sharing and I was saying, hey, I just got divorced, and the room erupted. And then I was saying, and one of the things that makes me feel good is that she said she forgave me. And, then that happened and I passed on the microphone, and right before the meeting ended, I saw this guy stand up. And he walked very slowly and he walked over to me. And then he just kind of leaned over and whispered in my ear. And he said, "Now you just have to forgive yourself." And I thought, what does that mean? I don't understand. I don't know what that means. Forgive myself. What? In this concept, I want you to really take it to heart, because after 10 years, one of the biggest gifts that I've had in my journey to sobriety is to learn to forgive myself, to understand that I'm not perfect, that I'm not a monster either. I lived in these two worlds, either a monster or perfection, and I'm neither. And I make a lot of mistakes. And when I make those mistakes, it's good for me to forgive myself, to acknowledge, hey, I kind of screwed up. Forgive myself. Not necessarily looking for forgiveness from someone else, even though that is important. But that does not have control over your happiness. Because if someone refuses to forgive you, you cannot be miserable. And that's the ability to forgive oneself. So that concept, I wrap it up and I give it to you as a gift because it's a powerful one, and it takes a lot of work. So I just brought it to light. I haven't even touched on how to do these things. I will in future videos. Comment if this is something that you would really like to know more about. But anyway, I talk about this more in depth in my book. Go to comfortablyInsane.com or look for it in Amazon. It's Neil Linares. Okay, so anyway, thank you so much for listening. Have a good one and learn to forgive yourself. Bye-bye.